it's Sam. So hopefully you've seen my first video for this. This is part 2 of making a traveller's notebook style junk journal using the new kits that I'm putting out. So if you've not seen part 1, I suggest you check that out first because that's actually making the main book. If you have, in this video we're going to look at decorating it. So this is kind of the fun bit as well. So I made the book obviously in the last video, and it's just, I mean, it's pretty decorative already. You can see it's got kind of cool pages and images, but there's so much more bits left. So I thought I'd give you some ideas of how you can decorate it. And like I said in the last video, I am just going to stick with what's in the kit because of course you can pull things in from your stash, you can add more pages, you can do whatever you like, but I just wanted to show you what was possible with just the kit. So I've got quite a lot of stuff left in the main kit, so I'll run through what you get in there, but I've also got a big pile just to the side of me here, which is all the offcuts that we cut off when we were making the main traveller's notebook. So if you've seen the last video, you'll have seen me chopping all the ends off these. So I've got that pile still to use. But just to run through what else you get in the kit then. So obviously you get the main pages that we used last time. And I'll start with the bigger bits. I've still got a napkin left here. And then I've got some smaller book pages. So this one is from a Shells book, and there's another one as well from there. So I've got those two. I've got a postcard, index card. I've got a medium-sized image from the book, and obviously every kit will have a different image in. I've then got a small image from the book as well. I did have a large image, and I've used that as one of the pages if you remember. There are 2 small pieces of scrapbook paper. They're about 4 inches square, so 10 centimetres. Yeah, small scrapbook paper, so the different patterns. So that one's kind of a watercolour one, and that one's like a plant one. But again, each kit will have slightly different ones. Then got a scrap of book page. Oh, this one's got a little fish on it. It's from the same book, so some will be text and some will be images. Got a little piece of paper from a collector's tea card set, so they've all got at least 1 card on. This one's got 2, and it's got a little submarine on that side, and then that says Under the Ice, and it's a submarine exploring stuff. So I've got that. That's pretty cool. I've also included the offcuts in the kits from when I was pulling the papers and things out of the book. So there's some strips of old book paper there. I have got some pieces of thread. So I've got a couple of kind of shiny, I don't know what you call these, they're like packaging strips, packing strips. You know, you get in like, use it for parties and stuff, like decorations. So there's a couple of strips of that, and then there's a few different pieces of wool in different shades. So there's this gorgeous teal one, and then slightly darker, and this one was from one ball of wool actually that gets like kind of darker and darker. It's got that ombre effect. And then there's 2 strands of this kind of green and blue one as well. They're super soft, these, so that's those. And then there's this little envelope. I'll just move these to one side. So I made a little envelope out of an old dictionary page, so obviously you can use that. I've just sealed it with washi, so you could take that off or cut it, or you could use it as an envelope. There's a bingo card from an old game. It's kind of all faded and yellowing on the back. And there's 2 playing cards as well in the blue that matches the kit, so just random playing cards. And then there's a little kind of cash envelope, little pocket money envelope, and in there we've got, so that's that. So we've got a stamp. This one's got a ship on. Again, each kit will be slightly different. Some scraps from that ocean book. So there's a little bit of coloured one, and then just some text pages. And like I said, these are really handy. So they might look like bits of rubbish, but I promise they really come in handy. And then a letter piece from a game as well. So loads of little bits and pieces to decorate with. So I'll jump straight in and see what I'm going to do. So let's move those to one side. I think I might start with these bigger pieces and see where I can get these in. Maybe the bingo card and the envelope as well, I think. Yeah, so let's see where I can get some of these bigger pieces in first, I think. So let's start with this big card. Could put that on there. Oh, I might put it on the inside cover actually there, and then it gives you a nice journaling spot on the back of that napkin. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to use PVA to do that, and that's just because that obviously the napkin's pretty flimsy, so I think the PVA will just give it a bit of stability. I don't need to put too much on though, I don't really want it too kind of warpy. So just going to put a little bit around the edge. Come on. I managed to make the mistake of leaving my brush in the glue and not washing it. I'm usually so good with that as well, so never mind. This is now my glue brush and it's rock hard. But there's not much I can do about that. PVA does ruin your brushes, so if you're going to use brush, be careful because it will just dry rock hard. You can still use it, but it's more of like a, you know, when you're in primary school and you use those little like plastic knives to spread PVA, it's more like that now than a brush, but there we go. So I'm just going to stick that on there and not measuring it or making it exact, I'm just doing that by eye. So that's just a nice little journaling spot on there now. And then I've got these really cool like shell pages that I want to get in. I might put these in as extra tip-ins. So, which basically means you fasten it on one side so it's like a little fold out so it tips in. So let's see where I can get those disappearing. So, that could be quite cool. I like the look of that one. I have to decide which side I like better now. That's got the blues in it which match that quite well. What's that one like? I quite like the blues on that one. I might make it, I could make that one a pocket. I could just fix that around 3 sides actually and have a little pocket in the top. Let's do that with that one. So I'm just going to use some double-sided and just put that along 3 edges. So like that, and one across the bottom. And we did this on the back page if you saw the previous video, so just make sure you've got it around 3 sides. Obviously don't put anything in the middle or you'll not get anything in your pocket, and just make sure that at the bottom you've not got any gaps for anything to fall out of. So come on, double-sided doesn't want to play today. There we go. Unpeel. So it comes to about there. I'm just wondering about maybe just ripping a little bit down and fold. You know, I'm going to stick that down before I do that because I'm going to make a mess. So, okay, let's stick this down. I've ripped a little bit. I'll show you why in a second. Just tuck that in. And just thought with it being a pocket, it might be better if I folded that back, just so that it was kind of obvious, so I can put like a tag or something in there and it's dead obvious then that that's a pocket. I'll do that on there, I think. I will put something in there afterwards. And I just need to find a little spot for this one. I like that. I do like these shells. What about that one? There's this big map page as well that it could go on. Or on the blue. That's quite nice on the blue, isn't it? It gives that a bit of something different as well. So I could just fix that on one side and have that as a tip in. Actually, I might do that. So I'm going to get some washi tape actually for this. Now I know I said I'd stick with what's in the kit, and washi is not in the kit unfortunately. But you can use, if you haven't got washi, you can use sellotape or masking tape or any sort of parcel tape, or anything that you've got to put down one end. But I've got lots of decorative tapes on my desk and not much sellotape. I've got double-sided, but not much else. So I'm going to grab some washi. I am going to put a strip of double-sided down first though. So we just put it in the position you want it in. And then I just use a strip of double-sided on the side where the hinge is going to be. I just find it just gives it a bit more support. The washi is not always very strong, so I'll just tuck that into that little gap there, and then I'll just get some washi. So let's just see which one I think is going to go with that. I thought that one actually, but it's a bit dark. I think actually the greeny colour might go better. Let's have a look. Never wants to rip properly, does it? There we go. Yeah, I think that one goes better. So I'm just going to rip that off and put that along the side. And I don't mind that it's got a tatty bit at the top, like that. And then I'll just rip the bottom the same. You just don't want it to, come on, rip. You do want it to rip. You don't want it to overhang the bottom of the card. There we go. So you can see it's a little bit longer than the card. I just need to rip that shorter, which it doesn't want to do. There we go. There we go. Just so it's shorter than the actual paper, because otherwise it won't open, it'll be stuck at the top. So there we go. So I've got a little tip in there for the shells. I really like how that looks actually. That's that one. And then I've got this extra pocket at the back that we made in the last video. Another napkin page, and then that's the back cover. So I might use this big napkin as my cover. I might decorate my cover with that. That's quite cool, isn't it? I think that's really pretty. I could either decoupage the whole thing, or I could just do a little bit. I might just do a little bit actually and leave a bit of a brown strip. I quite like that. So let's see. So I might keep it the full height. I think I might just tear the edge of the napkin so that it's got a rough edge to it. So that it's kind of like that. That's cool. Doesn't want to rip very well there. There we go. And I might just separate the layers as well. So come on. It's usually easier once you've ripped it because you can get between. There we go. So just separating the layers. So I've just got that top layer. And then you end up with this kind of really thin see-through layer where you can see the brown craft through, which is gorgeous. And then you end up with the white underneath as well, but that's still got the print on, if you can see that, but it's just a lot fainter. So I'll keep that to one side. And then I might use this one, like I said, just to decorate that front cover. And then I might wrap it round as well and do the back. So let me just kind of line that up where I want it and see about ripping on the back as well. Or shall I might not rip on the back, I might use the full piece actually on there. Let's do that. So I'm going to, what am I going to do? Glue this side, I think. And I'm going to use PVA, but my brushes annoy me, so I'm going to use my finger just because it's easier. So everything's completely covered in glue, including me. So I'm just going to turn that over and stick that where I wanted it. So I wanted it about there, maybe a bit further. Now so I quite like it bumpy and loose, and there's a bit of the napkin come up there, which is fine. There's a bit of a rip, but that's not a problem. I'll cover it up when I get to doing the proper front cover. There we go. And then I'll just check the back as well. Yep, just check it's all stuck down. You can see some of the blue ink has bled a little bit. That's all good with me. And then it's just a case of leaving that to dry. Okay, so I actually left that to dry overnight, and I've left it to dry kind of flat and face up so that it's wasn't going to stick to my desk. So as you can see, it's all dry and it's all done now. So it folds really nicely, and I'm just going to cut around the edges and trim that excess off. Okay, there we go. So we've got this gorgeous cover now. It's all kind of lumpy and wrinkly, which feels awesome. And it is a little bit curled up. So what I'll do when I've finished everything, I'll put it under a heavy book overnight, I think, and it'll just flatten it all down. So other than that, oh, a little bit of glue sticking up there. There we go. I'm really happy with how that turned out. I really like the look of it and the feel. And that's the back. So that's gorgeous. I'm just going to have a look and see if there's anything else that I want to add, because I've still got quite a lot of decorative elements left. I am going to try and save some bits because I'll use it as a junk journal and I'll put photographs and things in. I want to keep some bits for kind of creating pages and like backing photographs and, you know, decorating it as I'm actually using it as well. So I will save some pieces, but I've still got quite a lot left. So I'll probably save this pile I've got here, which is all of the offcuts. So I have used all of these pages to make the main journal. These are all the offcuts. So if I wanted to put a photograph in here, for example, on there, I might get a piece of the map page and mount my photo on that and give it a little border or something. So I've got some pages to add decorative elements with, but I've still got quite a lot of kind of the original kit left. So I'll show you what I've got. I've got this little pocket made out of a dictionary book. I've got quite a few kind of, oh, there's a bit of rubbish in there. Quite a few bits of the wool and these like party strips. I've got another little envelope, little kind of, can't remember what they call them, like pocket money envelopes. So I've got one of those. I've got a stamp. I've got some tea card paper, another offcut of the book, 2 scrapbook pages, a large image, sorry, a medium image and a small image from the book, the bingo card, and game piece, and 2 cards. So I've still got all that. Oh, and offcuts as well. I've got some offcuts to use as well. So I'll try and use up all of that so that at least I've used everything in the kit, and then like I said, all my offcuts I'll use for doing kind of journal with me videos later on. So let's see what I can do with these. So I've got this envelope. I might put that on the inside cover actually, because it's quite nice to be able to put things in. Sorry if I'm out of camera there. There we go. So it'd be quite nice to kind of store things in there. So I might put that on the front cover. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to use double-sided on that one. And I'm actually going to open up that washi tape and put some double-sided under there, just because it's a little bit stronger. So I'm just going to put some on the inside as well. If I can find the edge of it, I am anyway. Okay, so put a little strip down that inside edge there. I'm sorry, I know you can't see me in there, but I'll do this side as well. Just to give the pocket a bit more support really, because it's obviously old dictionary paper and it's really, really thin. So there we go. It's just creased up a little bit on the back. There we go. There. And this side. There we go. So all I did was put a little piece along the inside edge there. You can see that. And then, come on, and then just fold that one down and put that bit of tape back down there. Okay, so I'm just going to put some on the back. And I will cover all of this. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to make a double pocket actually. I'm going to make a double one. So I'm going to put it again on, I'm going to use this as if it's a pocket. So I'll just put the tape along 3 sides again. There we go. Just taking its time, and then one across the bottom. And I was going to fill up the gap in the middle, but I'm not going to now. I'm just going to do 3 sides round and create a pocket out of this. So I have a double pocket here. It will become more obvious in a minute, I promise. Okay, so I'll turn that round and put that on the front like that. Then I have a pocket here, and I have another pocket here. That one's going to be too short to disappear, so I just need something else that's a bit too wide. So I can fit those 2 little playing cards in there quite nicely. I like the look of those. I'm going to put them in there. And then I think I might make a tag, actually. See what I've got left here. I've got this cute little fish. He's cute as well. I wonder how tall those are. They're a bit... Might be a bit short those. So just looking through the offcuts, and I've got this bit of the envelope that I used to make the cover. I've still got quite a lot of that left, so I could make a tag out of that and then decorate it with some of the offcuts. I think the bingo card's just too wide, I think, just to fit in there, yeah. So I will just create a quick tag. And there's 2 sheets there, so I don't need both of them. Let's just open that up so you can see. There we go. So I'm just going to use one piece of this, and I think, just thinking of the width. The width probably, I think the playing card's about the right width, so maybe just a touch wider. So I'm just going to, and again I'm just going to do this by eye really, so just maybe a touch wider than the card. So yeah, I'll just bring that in and just check the width. Yeah, that's fine. And then height wise, I want it to stick up about there, so I'll just take the top off that. Okay, so that's going to be the base of my tag, and all I'm going to do is, where's my scissors? My desk's getting a bit full now. Okay, all I'm going to do is just cut the top corners off, and again just eyeballing it. You can measure it if you want, but I'm quite happy just eyeballing it. So I'm cutting those off, and I'm just going to find a hole punch. There we go. I'm just going to just punch a hole in the middle. There we go. Just to create my tag. Now I'm just seeing what else I've got. I've still got, I quite like that fish. I do like the fish, but I'm not sure he's quite the right. I might save him for decoration. What else have I got? I've got this, oh, this is gorgeous colour. I'm going to use this sort of tealy colour, I think, in the tag. Oh, that's really cute. So I'm going to push that through, doubled over, and then just loop that through the top. I really like that. That's so cute. And then, do you know, I might use one of these like sparkly ones and do the same thing with that as well, just because I really like these. And I think the colour goes nice with that bit of string. So I'm just going to do exactly the same thing, just loop it over. Push the loop through the hole and fasten that round if it wants to play. It's not quite as flexible as the wool, obviously. So come on. There we go. That one doesn't want to stay quite as well. So, you know, I think I prefer it with just the wool. I'm going to take that one off. Just have the wool. Just wondering if there's anything else I can do with them, because I like them. Yeah, I might make a little strip down that side actually. I'm just going to use some PVA and just run that along one side. Okay. I'm just going to stick that down there, just to give it a bit of a detail. And I'm just going to snip off the bottom bit. There we go. And then I've got a nice tag, so I could add some journaling to that. And then I'm just going to let it dry because it's got the PVA down there. If I put it in the pocket now, it will stick. So I'm just going to let that dry. But once it is dry, I think that'll make a really nice little tag to go in that top pocket. So it'll just sit behind all of those with that thread hanging out. So I'm just going to let that dry and I'll show you what that looks like at the end. Okay, what else have I got going on? So I'm going to put that one in there as well. Got this cool stamp as well that I could use somewhere. Do you know that needs like a tip? Do you know it needs a little tuck spot, that? So I quite like it on the map page. It looks like it's kind of setting sail, my little destination. I know I've got a double map page. Here we go. I wonder if I can get it on there somewhere. see. I've got these strips here. I might, if I undo these, I might just create a little tuck spot with one of these. I'll show you what I mean. You do get a tiny little strip of washi in the kits because you get the bits holding these together. So if I get one of these wider ones maybe. Come on, there we go. So I've got these kind of wider strips. It says, I might just use that side. And again, I might just tear the bottom of it just to give it a bit of a rough edge. And if you just put, you can do this on the sewing machine, I do like to do that, but just don't have it handy at the minute. So I'm just going to use double-sided tape, but if you just put it down the very, very bottom, you'll see what I mean in a second, but it's just along the bottom, you'll end up with a little tuck spot. So I'll show you what I mean. So I've just put double-sided at the very bottom of that chunky strip, so there's a bit above it that's not stuck. Does that make sense? And then if I just stick that on there, you'll end up with a little spot that you can tuck something in, and it holds quite tightly. So I'm just going to trim that down to size a little bit, or just rip it. There we go. And then we've got a little tuck spot there. Do you know, I might put something else in there as well. So that's a bit big, isn't it? But I mean, I quite like that actually, because the blues and pinks go with those. There's like blues and pinks in the stamp, so I quite like that. And that, again, you can take those out, you could journal on there, you could add a photograph, and then just tuck them in behind there. So I'm going to keep that like that. And then I've got a few other bits to add. Oh, we've got this pocket, haven't we? This gorgeous, gorgeous pocket. So the only big pieces I have left are the map page. So there's a fat one, and then this one's a bit thinner. It's a double page, so I'm just going to rip that down the centre and possibly just tuck that into the pocket again, just as a journaling spot, so that you could add something to there. Come on. It's a bit tall, so I might just tear that off slightly. Just use the edge of the card, I think. There we go. And again, actually, I could just take the corners off this. Just a tiny touch. Again, I'm not bothered about this being neat, so that's fine. I'm just giving it a bit of shape at the top. And then I'm just going to use my hole punch again and create another big tag with this. So put that in there. And again, use some of that wool. Oh, there's this really nice blue and green one. I might use that. And put that through. So again, another really big tag. So you can, again, put photographs, journaling, all sorts of things on there. And just tuck that in. And just add that hanging down. Like that. I really like that. Oh, we've got this page as well, haven't we? We've got bingo cards and sea snails and all sorts of things spare. Do you know what we haven't used yet? We've not used these tea cards either. So what can we do with you? Do you know, they might make quite a nice bookmark. On this particular one, the tea cards are exactly back to back. So I might just tear around them and create a bit of a bookmark with that. I think that would be quite cool. So I've just ripped around there, and I just need, again, my hole punch. So I just need to pick somewhere that's not going to ruin the picture. I think that top corner should be okay. Just stamp that through. And I had a piece of string left. Here we go. Here. So what I'm going to do is stamp a hole in my back cover. Come on. There we go. Getting a bit stuck because it's gluey. And then I'm just going to tie that through. And I'm going to keep it quite long, and I'll show you why in a second. So I'm just going to tie that into a double knot. There we go. So that's really long, and then I can use that as a bookmark, so I'll be able to put that into any page that I like then. See? So that's quite cool. And it also means that when you close the book, you'll have kind of the little bits of string and thread hanging out the top, which I quite like as well. So that's my bookmark. We've still got a bingo card, we've still got pages and papers, and we've got so much stuff left that I'm trying to use up. The little envelope's quite cool. I might try and get the little envelope in. So it might actually be quite nice as a tip in, you know. So I'm just thinking that would be quite nice if it kind of folds out and there's a little pocket there. Oh no, there's a good idea, look, because then as you open it, you'll be able to put something in the side. Oh, I like that. That's going to go there. I'm just going to double-sided tape this one. And I am going to put double-sided on the back of the little flap so that it sticks to that little flap there. It's like the perfect size, that little cap. It's like I designed it like that deliberately, but I really didn't. So I'll just put that there, and it doesn't matter if you fill up the middle on this because I'm not having another pocket behind it. So you could just use glue or anything you like for this bit. I'm just using this because it's on hand, it's on my desk and ready to go. So I'll just use that up. Plenty double-sided. There we go. I like to make sure it's well stuck. Don't want things falling out and dropping to bits, really. Come on. And then I'm trying to think of what to do with this letter. And every kit's going to have a slightly different letter in, just because that's obviously a game piece, so they've not got lots of the same letter. So you can make yours spell something. I literally grabbed the kit that was on the top of the pile when I decided to kind of make you a journal and show you how it all works. So the one that was on the top happened to have an O, which, as it's an ocean themed journal, works quite well. But I'm sure you'll be able to think of it. That could be kind of a little mini challenge to come up with a word that for your letter, whatever letter you get. So mine's going to be ocean. I'm thinking I might put it on the front cover, and then I could kind of journal or put something on there about it being my ocean journal. There we go, just sticking that on, and that's in there. I know it's a bit wonky, but I don't really mind. Stick that there, and again, it just gives me that little gap. And I've got this little fish, you know, I might put him above because I don't really like that, whatever that is, I'm not keen on. So I might just put this little fish in there instead. Let's see if I can just get rid of the white border around him though. Not sure about the white border. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. The bingo card's coming in handy just for a ruler, isn't it, at the moment. I will use it. I will find somewhere for it. Like I said, I don't want to use everything up because I do want to actually use this for memory keeping. So I'll keep all of the scraps like these for layering photos and, you know, creating under titles and things. But I do want to use all the main bits of the kit just to give you some ideas. So I might put him there. I think he looks nicer there. Yeah, I'm gonna. I wonder if I put him over the top. Actually, I think I prefer that, you know. Put him over the top of the envelope. This is the other napkin that we got in the kit that we used as a page, if you remember. So I might just, quite like the way this looks when it's collaged, this one. So I might do that with this. Come on. And stick that in there. And it just hides that pocket a little bit actually, which I quite like. It hides that envelope. I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to use some wet glue on that napkin. I have got my PVA next to me, but it's annoying me because the brush has gone rock hard. Like I said before, I managed to leave it in there overnight. And my hands are now full of glue and it's all just a bit of a mess. So I'm going to use this that's in the little tube instead. It might be a little bit easier for me to spread. Come on. That just might be easier today. I think wet glue is just easier for napkins anyway. So that's that. See if I can get it down without it going all over the place. There we go. And this will stick really easy because obviously it's a napkin, it's not very thick. So that's there. And then I put my little fish on the top. I do like these ocean ones, I really do. I love the little fish, happy little fishes. So let's put you around there. There's my little fish. There we go. And then I have a little side pocket, so I might just make a little No, I won't. I'm going to save that. I was going to say I could make another little tag, but I won't. I'm going to save that because I might put a photograph in there instead and have a bit of hidden journaling. So that's what it looks like, kind of closed up. There we go. I'm just wondering about that O on the cover. Or does it go inside the cover? Oh, I like it on there actually. I quite like that. I'll hold it to one side because there's lots of pages I haven't put any decoration on. So we'll just hold on a second. Hold on. So there's my little hidden envelope. How cute is that? My bookmark, which obviously can go in any page. There's my little pocket. Do you know what? That can be my journaling spot in there, can't it? Because that's like I made it perfect. And again, I'm going to make that into a tag. I'm not going to cut the corners on this one though. I'm just going to punch it out a hole, and I might put 2 bits of string through just to make it pretty. Just because I can. And I've got these darker blues which go perfectly with that bingo card. So I'm just going to put those in there. There we go. And kind of 2 big tassels. There we go. I like that. That looks cool. And then just tuck that in. I love that. I love the threads. Okay, and then he's my favourite, I think. It's Big Fish. He's awesome. I really like him. I don't think I've got anything. Oh, I've got scrapbook paper piece left. That little image and a playing card piece, and another medium image. Other than that, I've only got scraps, which is cool. So let's see if we can get these 4 in, and then we've done a full journal. How about that? So I really like that paper. It's stunning. Where can you go? I don't really want to fill it up, you know. Like I said, I want to have some bits that I can use for my journaling spots. I quite like that because I think it goes with that quite nicely, doesn't it? And an O for an ocean. Might make that into another pocket. I like pockets. In case you haven't noticed, pockets and tags. I love pockets and tags and hidden journaling. And with this as well, you'll be able to put things on the front. So when you make a pocket, you can still put something on the front that could have a photograph or a story of what you've done for the day or something like that. And then just carry on the journaling inside. So you can have a big photograph there of a day out, and then on this tag inside, do all your journaling about it, have some more photos. It's a pocket, so you could just throw 5 or 6 more photographs in there if you wanted. Create as many tags and hidden bits in there as you like. So I really like doing that. So I'm making another one here. I think pockets and hidden journaling really make the most out of the space, because obviously this isn't a massive journal. It's the size as standard traveller's notebook size. I'm not sure how many pages we've got in here. We'll count them in a minute, but it's not huge, so it just kind of makes the most out of your pages if you have some extra pockets. I think that has got a pocket behind it. And then if I put this on the front, I might do that as 2 sides, so that's a little tuck spot as well, actually. That sounds like a plan. And this is normally where I'd now go through my stash and raid my stash and try and find bits of ephemera or all sorts of bits like that to kind of add in, to tuck in the pockets and things, but I can make some bits out of what I've got left. So I'm just going to stick that in the corner. And again, I've done that just with 2 sides. So you can see I've got a pocket in the top there. Oh, and then I have got a little tuck spot there as well. So I might make, I've got scraps of bits left. So that's quite cool with the like submarines. So I could just rip that out and just pop a little piece in there. And is that gonna, yeah, it's gonna disappear. It's gonna disappear. What isn't? What isn't? I've got the brown paper. And the brown paper. So I'll put brown paper in there, little tuck spot. That's better, I think, actually, isn't it? Little brown paper bit in there. Yeah, I'm just going to tuck that into the little tuck spot, and then I'm going to tuck that one in there as well, just so it shows that there's 2 little pockets there. And then what else have we got? Oh, he could go on the back of there actually, couldn't he? The big, I don't know what he is. I want to call him a snail. Oh, he is a snail. I was going to say I was going to call him a snail, but I thought that was actually part of the slug bit. But it is a little shell. Oh, that's a nicer one. Oh, but now I feel bad on the slug. It's a snail, Sam. There's the like zebra-y snail, or there's a pink diamondy shell. Oh, that's no good. Now I want both. Now I want both. Well, he might have to be another little tuck spot or a flap or something. Do you know what? He's going to have to be another little flap. So I'm going to do that the same way that I did the other tip in. I'm just going to tip in from the top, I think. So I'm just going to put, like I said, a little strip of double-sided just to give the washi a bit of a helping hand. There we go. And then this washi that I used last time, which is rubbish for coming off the roll. Goodness me. It wants to come off in lots of little bits. So there we go. And then just stick that across the top. There we go. So I've just got another hidden journaling spot under there. And I think that's it. I love that little bookmark. And I think that might be it, guys. We might have a full junk journal. Oh, now I have the little beachy scene. The only thing I've not used in the kit. Where should I put you? Where should I put you? Do you go on the front cover? I'm not sure it goes with that very well. That's my problem with that. Could go in there, little hidden spot. And again, I could do two sides and have that as a little tuck spot. Let's do that. Another little tuck spot in there. So, nearly done. Nearly done. Thing is, I could just keep going with these. Like I said, I can just go into my stash and start getting alphas out and writing titles and journaling and doodling and getting the paints and the stencils, and could just keep going. You could just keep going, but you have to stop. So that's another little tuck spot, as you can see there. I don't think I've got anything to pop in it at the minute. I think I'm happy with just leaving that open at the moment. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave that one open at the minute. So that's our full journal, guys. So I'll run through what I've got left. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm just going to move this out of the way and show you what we've got left. So this is all I have left, which is just my scraps. Move those. So we've got all the kind of scrap edges of the paper, which, like I said, are awesome for layering. And I'll do some journal with me videos and use up some of these. So all the little scrap edges of paper. I've got a couple of little bits of that kind of decorative foiled strips. I don't know what you call those, actually. I'm going to find out what they're called. I've got a couple of those left and 2 pieces of string. Some more scraps of the book, and then I've got some larger scraps. So I've got the bit of the envelope that we used for the cover, some of the napkin, some longer strips of book, and that's the other napkin as well. This is the offcut from what I used on the cover, some offcuts of the map page, and then that other sleeve from the napkin as well. So these are just all offcuts, and I'll just keep all those together, and when I'm doing like journaling in this journal, I will pull those out and use all of that up. So that's what I've got left. And this is the journal. So this is what we've got. So we've got this soft cover journal, which will be fine to use as it is, as a straightforward journal with this gorgeous cover that's all tactile. I want to kind of write something on here, or put some alphas on it or something. I don't know what to write yet. I'll figure that out. And then you open it up. So I've got an envelope with 2 pockets there and there. Got another little tip-in page there. Journaling spot. I've got this kind of double page. And then the map one. I love him, he's so cute. Little lionfish that opens up and there's a secret kind of pocket behind there. Obviously it's still drying, I've only just done it 5 minutes ago, so that will all fade. And then the brown paper with a little tuck spot and a little bingo card. So much space for journaling and putting photographs and memory keeping. It's just going to be awesome. I can't wait to get stuck in. A little tuck spot there. Which opens up this one as well as a double page. We've got the back, we've got our little bookmark, so you can put that in whatever page you're journaling in. Another little tip in. Another large envelope tip in with the map page there. Come on. And the back, and then a double pocket on the napkin. The back, and then a little tip in on the back. So you've probably got just over 30 kind of surfaces. So if you wanted to do a page a day, that would be a nice month journal for you. I'm just going to tuck that back in. Doesn't want to play. There we go. So that would be a 1 month kind of journal. And there you go, and you'll be just in time for the next kit then, the month after that. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. You could put that in your traveller's notebook, you could leave it as it is, or you could use that as a single signature. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to journal in these, but I think I'm going to keep them all separate, and then when I've got maybe 3 or 4 of them, stitch them all into one book. And I'll do a tutorial on how I do that so that it's a hardcover journal, a bit like my Christmas junk journal if you saw those. So that'll become one signature in that journal. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'd love for you to buy one of the kits and play along. I'd love to see what you're making, any more ideas, any ideas for the next kit, what you want me to include or not include. Just, I love chatting to you and hearing your ideas. So thank you so much, and I'd love a thumbs up and a subscribe if you wouldn't mind, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.